Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? This is going to be the beginning of my rants because I am pissed about a lot of things. I have a lot of story times that I might turn into rants because truthfully there's a lot of stories in there that I was looking at the other day and I was like, I am so angry that this happened. So let's just put them in here in my new series, VeeMazaGlam rants. I'm going to start with something that I've been going through recently, and if you've already read the title, probably the reason you clicked on this video, you will know that I've been experiencing anxiety. Anxiety blows. I hate it. It came out of nowhere. Now I know why, because I've been to counseling and I've been talking to a counselor about it and have been prescribed medication for it, but I have never felt anything worse in my entire life. I have felt stress, I have felt depression before, but nothing compares to anxiety. Anxiety is like physical for me. Like, I've always been able to manage my emotions eventually, maybe not immediately, but like I can always handle them, manage them, you know, have them under my control. But like anxiety, I can't control if I like can't breathe. Like it just all of a sudden started happening to me. Like I couldn't find an important document and I was like sitting on the chair. I scared the shit out of my boyfriend too. Sat down on the couch and I said I couldn't breathe and I felt like someone was sitting on my chest and someone was strangling my throat. Like that's literally what it feels like, and it is so scary. I sat there and focused on breathing, texted my cousin because she goes through it and I know she knows some breathing exercises, and I had never felt this before, so I thought that's what was happening, and sure enough, after talking to a counselor, I found out that yes, I have severe stress, anxiety, and depression. Main source being anxiety, because anxiety has a funny way of causing those two other things. And the worst part about anxiety is that once you experience anxiety for the first time, then you're anxious of being anxious. So you get anxiety about getting anxiety. It's terrible. My grandpa recently passed away and I was really upset, but thought nothing of it other than, yeah, you know, grief, sadness, normal, right? No. The next day I go to work and I am the most outgoing social person in the entire world. I pop up into work like, hey, but no, anxiety was like, hell no, not today. Anxiety did this to me. That's not me. That's anxiety. I felt claustrophobic. I felt like I was hyperventilating. I felt nervous. I felt like things I never feel in public situations or in daily situations that I put myself in and that I know are going to happen and are on my schedule. Like, it just makes no sense. Mental illness is real and we need to end the stigma. We need to talk about it. I wanted to talk about this as soon as possible because first of all, I wanted to get it off my chest. YouTube is something I love to do and I want to put everything out there about, maybe not everything, but a lot of things out there in my life that people can relate to, people can understand and tell me their own stories. Like, tell me what you go through. How do you deal with it? Because honestly, at the beginning, I had no idea. I have done some progress, thankfully, to the counseling from college because I am back to school. My meds are covered and everything. I'm still scared that they're gonna have a weird effect. I've only been on them for like 3 or 4 days, and the only thing I've noticed about them so far is that I lost appetite for like 48 hours the first time I started taking them, and I get these random like upset stomachs, which they did say it would cause nausea. I'm taking, what is it called? Cipralex? Cipralex? Nipperlex? Yes, Cipralex. After being referred to a doctor from my counselor after doing some screening on me and my behavior, symptoms, and feelings, the doctor prescribed me Cipralex, which has really extreme side effects by the looks of it of withdrawal. I have not gone through it, but I have read about it and been told about it by the pharmacist that sold it to me or gave it to me because it was free, because it was covered under my college. Thank God. I don't even want to know how expensive that would be. Another thing I was having anxiety about, like, how expensive is my condition now going to be? And that is something that is so sad in this world. If it weren't for me going to college, I would have to be paying for all these therapy sessions. I would have to be paying for all these medications. It's not accessible. It's not cheap. Like, what do people do? And probably most of the people that go through this or experience this don't even know they have this. Like, mental illness is so up, but it's something we go through, and it's something a lot of people get diagnosed with or have and not even know, and that is so scary to me. At least I have the relief and the comfort of knowing, like, I'm working towards a better me. I am dealing with this. I am trying to find a solution. I know it's inevitable and beyond my control. There's nothing I can do about my, physical symptoms, to the point that I literally thought I was having a stroke. Like, this is not a joke. I've witnessed my mom have a stroke when I was little, which I will talk about. I've already said this. I'm going to do a story time about it. But, like, I've witnessed that. I've seen what it looks like, and it's scary as... My grandma passed away from a stroke last year. And I was minding my own business, running errands with my parents one day, and all of a sudden, my dad notices I'm rubbing my chest where my heart is. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just uncomfortable." And I was very irritable. I've been very easily annoyed lately and just, like, unmotivated, no energy, not wanting to do anything. Like, I'm only getting my energy back up now, filming and, doing makeup and trying to focus on doing what I love to make myself feel better and cheer myself up. But at that point, I was just uncomfortable. I wanted to leave. I was like, just take me home. I don't feel good. And as soon as we're in the car, I start feeling just way worse, like 100 times worse, and experiencing the exact same symptoms that I witnessed and identified as stroke symptoms on my mom and on my grandma. Of half of my body, this side of the body, like, my hand was numb, my arm, I felt like the tingling in my hand, my arm was heavy, my leg was heavy, my foot, all my left side, my left foot was tingling, also numb, and I just about lost it. We were almost at my house and I was like, "Dad, my left side is asleep." And then my mind starts racing. We're going to the hospital, the symptoms escalate, the left side of my head hurt, my left eye hurt, like, just anything you can think of that is, like, so scary and clearly, like, stroke symptoms was there. It was happening to me. I was walking weird, my balance was weird, like, just, if you don't know stroke symptoms, look them up because it's very important to know, and it's like an emergency medical situation. We get into the hospital, they do a CAT scan, they do a CT scan, they do an ultrasound, they do a blood test, a urine test. At first, the doctor thought it was an ectopic pregnancy, and I was like, what? Like, I'm just losing my mind, going insane with all this stuff I have already been going through, and then this happens. All the tests come back fine. Everything is good. Everything is fine. We didn't see anything. It's stress and anxiety. I recommend counseling. What? Stress and anxiety is not to play around with. Like, it can cause so many, and then, like, after this, it was like a huge relief. They did see my 2 dermoid 6-centimeter ovarian cysts that I've had apparently since I was a fetus. So there's that, and I have to get them surgically removed, so I'm gonna have to see a gynecologist, which, whatever, it could be worse. Like, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm still here, alive, and I'm not, like, in serious condition, but I have mental illness. I never thought that would be me. I've heard of people talking about this so many times, and you literally, like, when people say this, they're not just being, pretentious. You don't know what it feels like until it's you, until it happens to you, until you experience it and you feel the feelings and you go through the waves. So I have an appointment with a gynecologist in August, but I had been referred right away to a neurologist to stroke prevention, which was also scary because it's like, okay, I'm fine, but why am I being sent to stroke prevention? So I went to see the neurologist, he did some more tests, and he said, again, the same thing, stress and anxiety, you have to, take time to relax. This is really common in people in their 20s. It's a good thing that you went to the hospital because, yes, you did have stroke symptoms, but those symptoms can also come about with stress and anxiety, and it's just how the body releases that tension in the brain and in the soul. So this is just a PSA. If you or anyone you know are going through any kind of mental illness, please talk to someone. Please get help. It does get better. I am living proof. I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm way further than I was before. It's gonna be a long journey. The doctor said it would take about a week to notice drastic changes in my life and the effect of the medicine taking place. I'm supposed to do a follow-up appointment with her in 4 weeks, but it's just so important because I know how severe this could get with suicidal thoughts. It has happened before to me with no plan. It's not severe, but if it's there, it could literally end someone's life. Like this, I don't wish this on my worst enemy, on anyone. No one deserves to live like this, and it's so scary and curable. or at least treatable. I don't want to sound like a doctor, I'm like freaking armchair doctor here, but like, please talk to someone. Please seek a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, anything. Like, they can help, and you're not in this alone. You're not the only one going through this. So many people that I know go through this, and I never thought it would be me, and here I am. But I'm pushing myself to stay active and do the things I love. This is why I'm gonna stay consistent on YouTube, and honestly, if anything, this is a huge letter to anxiety. You. I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna get through this. I have a great support system. My family and my boyfriend has been just so, oh, God bless his soul. I haven't been able to cook a meal in I don't know how long, but he's been picking up the slack and just being so loving and caring and on my team. Like, I love him so much. Oh my God. That's the rant of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got some information. Please follow my advice on this. And like if you enjoyed this video, or if you can relate at least. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will be probably vlogging and talking more about my journey because it's not over yet. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and see you next time.